Alright guys, welcome back to the CoolFigurez channel. I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Jazwares 3-pack World of Halo, Tovaras, Master Chief, and Hyperius. But first, if you're new, then welcome. This channel is all about cool action figures, analyzing them, hunting them, taking pics of them, and of course, playing with them. I upload new content constantly throughout the week, so make sure you hit that bell icon so you stay notified when I do upload new videos. And if you guys want to support the channel in any way, all I ask is you guys watch my videos from start to finish, as well as going ahead and hitting that like button if you guys are enjoying the content that I put out. And go ahead and check out those Amazon affiliate links down below. There you'll find all sorts of cool action figures, stuff associated with toy photography, and so much more. And join me every Sunday for Coffee and Toys, a weekly toy news, toy talk podcast that I will host, and we can talk all the latest and great toy news. But as always, the information on this channel is intended for adult collectors and not children. And before we get started, as always, I just want to thank the channel sponsor, VRare Store. Check them out for your Funko Pop, anime, and Pokemon card needs. And of course, use code CoolFigurez at checkout for 10% off your order. VRare Store, check them out, guys. So once again, with all that out of the way, we are going to be taking a look at the Jazwares World of Halo 3-pack, Tovaras, Master Chief, and Hyperius. Now, I may forget those two names while we're going over this review, so just keep that in mind, because these are new characters from Halo Infinite, and much like everybody else, I have not played it because it still has not been released yet. So, you know, these characters are as new to everybody as they are to me. It's kind of odd to me that they've changed these brutes so radically. Like, I thought the redesign from Halo 2 to 3 was a really good redesign, but from Halo 3 to this is just really bad. But that's not a shot on these toys. These toys are great in terms of them doing what they should, and that is being accurate representations of the medium and the characters, and they are. I'm just bashing the developers of Halo and the way they decided to design these. But besides that, guys, the only reason I really got this pack was because of this guy right here, this translucent Master Chief. I don't know what it was about him, but as I was walking down the aisle, second I saw him, I knew I had to have him, because he either is in camouflage, so he's either invisible, or he can even be a hologram. It really depends, but I knew I had to have him. I really like translucent figures when it's called for, much like the carbonized figures. When it's called for, I do enjoy them, and they do look good. So, you know, that's one thing about me. So when I mean that it calls for it, so kind of like in Star Wars when they do holograms to communicate and stuff, back in the day they actually released Darth Maul and Commander Cody as hologram figures. And so that's what I mean, it calls for it, because it's showing that they're a hologram in a communication thing. It's not just, oh, here's a random figure that we chose to make holographic or see-through or blah blah blah, or translucent, blah blah blah. You know, it has a purpose and a reason for it being that translucent. So here, that's what I'm saying, he's either in camouflage in terms of like being invisible, because I think that's a new ability that he has, or he's holographic transmission, or, you know, something like that. I don't know. Like I said, nobody's really played Halo Infinite since it's been pushed back over a year at this point, so we'll have to wait and see exactly what it is when the game comes out. And I'm pretty sure I'll know, because my best friend's a big Halo fan, who you guys have probably met, my co-host Chris, on the weekly Coffee and Toys podcast. He comes on every now and then, mainly when we go and see a new movie, and then we come back and we review it for you guys. So episode 1, we went ahead and reviewed the new Shang-Chi, and let me just tell you guys, go watch that review and then go watch the movie. Well, go watch the movie, then go watch the review, because then you can watch the whole review, because we start off non-spoiler and then we go into spoilers, just so you guys know. So anyways, guys, back to this set. We are going to take a look at what they come with first and foremost. So before we get into the accessories that they have on them, we're going to take a look at the bases they come with. So in the World of Halo scale, all the figures come with bases, much like in the McFarlane DC Multiverse or any of the other McFarlane lines. They all come with stands. So the World of Halo is following suit. The World of Halo line is following suit, and so it comes with three different bases. Here's one, here's two, and here's three. So they are different, and they do attach, and you can connect them right here. And so I'm going to go ahead and connect them real quick so that you guys can see them side by side. So see, you got some grass, you have light patchy grass, and you got some rock. So these are really cool. You know, these are probably going to be going into my jungle display to add a little more texture and stuff to the bottom. because I don't really think these guys need these stands, but they are really cool stands, especially considering that they connect. So if you have multiple figures from this line, you can connect and make a really nice big base. You can put some behind here, up front, make it just one long one. It's really up to you, and that's really cool. That's one thing that the McFarlane bases definitely do not offer, which actually would be a really cool feature, because I have so many Batman figures. I wish the bases did connect, but at the same time, that's a bigger scale, bigger line. So with them, only 1 foot fits on the base, whereas here, both these guys, or all 3 of these guys' feet fit firmly and comfortably on these small bases. But yeah, they come with a base for each one of them. So let's go ahead and start with Tovaras right here. Look at that, I remembered his name. So let's pull him forward because he comes with a big gun. So first we're actually going to take a look at his helmet. So this guy's helmet actually does come off, and it is removable, and you get a punk brute right there. As you can see, he has his shaved head and his mullet. So you do get this little removable visor helmet, whatever it is. Like I said, don't really know the name, haven't played the game like anybody else, but yeah, that's removable. And then he does come with this giant cannon, and obviously the box said what kind of cannon it is and gun and everything, but I don't remember. It's just a really big, thick fit gun, and I'm sure you guys are going to roast me in the comments below for what I just said, but it is a really big hulking weapon that he comes with, which is amazing, because you could probably use this into a 6 scale line, since it's so big. And that's what I've noticed about this line. The World of Halo line kind of mixes in and out within itself, so the grunts in this line don't really scale well with these figures, but they do scale well with the Jazwares Sparn collection, Master Chief and Little Sparns, which are a 6-inch line. So it is what it is. But like I said, this is still a really big gun, really cool. I like how he has like the shiny metal on the outside right here, and then the matte gray right here to differentiate the 2 sections of the gun. So these spikes right here are plastic and pliable. They don't they aren't sharp. They do move around, so you can bend them. You can drop it and it's not going to break, so that's really cool. So that is all the accessories that this guy comes with. So let me go ahead and stand him up so he can stand on his own. And we're going to look at his buddy Hyperius. So this guy comes with a few different things. The one thing I will say is their articulation is pretty especially when it comes to a small gun like this. You cannot get his arms to connect in a gun holding, 2-hand gun holding stage, 2-hand gun holding stance, because they just don't connect, so you have to have them like this. But that's not even supposed to be on the gun. That's just the peg that's supposed to be used to peg into the back of a figure. So like Hyperius, Tovaras's helmet does remove, and like I said, one ugly son of a bitch. Look at that thing. I mean, it just looks like an ugly version of an ape morphed with Freddy Krueger. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you guys think this looks like? Like I said, it looks like an ape merged with Freddy Krueger in my opinion, but let me know what you guys think. So he does come with this removable helmet that covers most of his face right there, as you can see. Very nicely done and detailed, and it does hide his ugly mug, which is amazing. He does have this removable jetpack, so right there you can see the back where it plugs in, and the back, it has a little bit of weathering and stuff, but nothing too crazy. It's all basically one color with just a little bright dress weathering here and there. So last but certainly not least with this guy, he comes with a gun blaster. I don't know what they're calling this in the game, but he does come with a weapon, and it isn't a knife or a sword. Thankfully, it is a actual gun, because it is a first-person shooter game, so it makes sense. Much like many superheroes come with guns, like Peacemaker, but that's a discussion for another day, right, guys? But anyways, he does come with this gun, and you can see that it has little orange accents right here and right there, so it is pretty nicely detailed for a 3.75-inch figure. So that is it for him. So let's go ahead and move him back. Hopefully he stays standing. He'll probably fall over during our discussion about Master Chief. So with Master Chief, he comes with one weapon and one weapon only, and that is his iconic assault rifle in this translucent, nice plastic. Look at that. So it obviously is just the same mold as the typical one that comes with the other Master Chiefs in this line, and it is pretty pliable and stuff, and it feels like if you bend it here enough, obviously it's going to snap. But like I said, just like with Master Chief, I absolutely love this translucent look to this rifle. It's really cool, and depending on where you put it in the light, it kind of does really kind of disappear in a way. So that's really cool. Unlike him, because he is a thicker blue, and so you do see a little more. But we'll go into that when we pull him closer to take a look. But we're gonna go in the order that we started, and we're gonna pull Tovaras forward first. So as I said, when we first took a look at him without his helmet, he is like a punk, looking brute with the shaved side heads, and then the beard in the front. So this is a very odd take on the brutes, in my opinion. They look more human than alien, which doesn't make sense since they are a alien race, but they are now looking more like they're a morph of basically the apes from Planet of the Apes. I don't know. Maybe they were trying to get something like that so that people would be familiar with it. I have no idea. All I know is that these redesigns of the brutes by the Halo development company, not Jazwares, are complete trash. But Jazwares did an amazing job of capturing the trash that is these new brutes. I have to admit, they do look identical to the ones on the game. So, you have to hand it to Jazwares for actually getting it spot on. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at this guy nice and close. Look at his right side. Take a look at his back side right there. Left side. And back to the front. So now that we're back to the front, you know what time it is. It's time to see what this guy can do. He can look that far to the right, that far to the left. He can not look down because of his beard. He can't go back because of his mullet, so his head's basically just stuck there. His arms do go out for a T-pose. This armor plate is attached at the bottom like many toys are today, and it does allow for mobility right there. You do get 360 rotation of the shoulder, but the pad does get a little stuck there, so be careful. You don't get bicep rotation. You get rotation at the elbow, single hinge at the elbow, rotation at the wrist, in and out hinging at the wrist, rotation at the waist right there. No ab crunch of any kind, and he cannot join the cheerleading squad because his armor plate right here does not go in, so it doesn't allow for his legs to go out. He can kick out that far. He can kick back that far. He does come with double hinged knees, so he can go that far because then his thick calf right there starts hitting his small hamstring. So this guy needs to work with hamstrings a little bit more. But looking at his ankle articulation, whoa, hold on. Okay, his ankle articulation goes down that far. It'll go up that far with a ball rocker hinge right there. So all in all, pretty decently articulated, but like I said, it does have its limitations being a chunky figure, and you'll see more of that. Whoops, let me get this guy to stand. In Hyperius. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments down below if I'm not. Let's go ahead and take his helmet off, or better yet, let's go ahead and leave his helmet on first. Show you his articulation with the helmet, all the way to the right, all the way to the left. Take his helmet off, all the way to the right, all the way to the left. Basically same thing. The helmet does not hinder his head movement at all, just his fat noggin and neck right there, because he can only look down that far. He can look up further than that guy, but it's basically just straight at you again. His arms, whoops, his arms do go out like that. Once again, the shoulder pad is attached to the lower arm, so it does move out of the way. So when you do that, once again, 360 is possible, but you're gonna have to mess with that pad. No rotation at the bicep. Rotation at the elbow, single hinge elbow joints, rotation at the wrist, as well as in and out hinging at the wrist, as well as rotation at the waist. No ab crunch. This guy can, I think this guy can make second string cheerleading squad if he works on it. He can kind of go out, but then on this side, this padding does hit his leg. He does have a thigh swivel, so that's pretty cool. Let me see this guy. Okay, so they do both come with thigh swivels, which makes sense because they're probably just the same body, just a little different sculpting here and there. So with that being said, let's continue on with this guy. He can kick out that far, kick back that far. He does come with double hinge knees as well, but he goes only that far because once again his thick calf hits his small hamstring. Sorry for constantly hitting the camera, guys. Looking at his ankle articulation, once again it goes down that far where you get a little gap. It doesn't go too far up because of his shin guard right there. Ball rocker hinge joint for movement, and that is it for this brute. So like I said, they are basically the same body, so articulation is pretty similar in both these brutes. So let me go ahead and try to get this guy to stand so that we can take a look at the final figure, which is of course the figure that I wanted in this whole pack. And the reason I got this pack when I first saw it is, one, because I thought this was going to be a very sought after pack because of this Master Chief, and two, because I didn't think it would ever go on clearance, since the first 3-pack from Wave 1 never went on clearance despite all the other stuff going on clearance. And I just checked Target right now before this video to look up the names of these two guys because I could not remember it, and I threw the box out. And of course it's on sale for $26, which is just $3 off, but still it's of course just my luck that it did go on sale, even though I believed it not to ever to go on sale. You know, I didn't think it'd ever go on sale, but sure enough, it went on sale. But anyways, guys, you're not here to listen to my, dumbass decisions and whatnot. You're here for a toy review. So, taking a look at Master Chief, like I said, he is a thicker plastic than the rifle. So you do see small bits and pieces of his joints. Like right here, you can see the joint inside, or the leg inside. You can also see like different translucent portions. So it's a little darker here, a little lighter here. When pieces overlap, it's a little darker. But overall, it's still a really cool translucent figure, and I absolutely love it. And like I said, the whole reason I got this pack, and I'm super happy with it. And it's, I already have 2 other Master Chiefs, so much like the Wave 3 Spartan Collection Master Chief, this one is different than the first 2 that I have. So I'm pretty happy with that order, or with that buy. If I remember while I'm editing, I'll remember to link it up above the review for the new Wave 3 or Series 3 Master Chief from the Spartan Collection. If not, just check out my channel, it'll be there. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at his articulation. He is the same figure as the other Master Chief, so he's going to have the same articulation. He can look all the way to the right, all the way to the left. He can look down that much, look up that far. His arms do barely not go out to a T-pose, just barely, because this is a smaller pad, so they glued it down here, but it's so small that it's too close of a gap. It doesn't just allow for it. You do get rotation at the wrist, or I'm sorry, at the elbow. You do get single hinge elbow joint, rotation at the wrist, in and out hinge at the wrist. So I've noticed with the World of Halo line, they only give them single hinge elbows most of the figures. I don't think I've ever encountered one with double so far. He does have some nice articulation at the waist, because the Spartan Collection has no articulation at the waist whatsoever. This Master Chief can join the cheerleading squad. Hell, he can be the captain of the cheerleading squad like this, with those kinds of split skills. He can kick out that far, he can kick back that far. He does go that far with his double hinge knees right there, which is pretty far. Looking at his ankle articulation, it does go down that far, it goes up that far, and ball rocker hinge joint right there. So that is it for all the articulation, all the accessories that these guys come with. So with that all being said, as always, let's go ahead and take a look at some really cool pics I took of these guys, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. If you enjoyed those pics, you can find the full images over on Instagram at CoolFigurez, and I do have a separate Instagram account for my more thought out, planned out, more edited pics called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. Check it out if you like what you see. Leave me a follow there as well. And if you guys want to see the unboxing of these figures or any of the other figures I do reviews on for this channel, check me out at TikTok on CoolFigurez, because when I get a new toy, guys, I am like a child and I cannot wait to rip it open. So I don't wait to set up my YouTube studio. I just film it real quick on my phone and post it to TikTok. So check me out at CoolFigurez. And don't forget to join me every Sunday morning for Coffee and Toys, a weekly toy news, toy talk podcast where we will go over all the latest and great toy news, my weekly toy haul, and so much more. But with that being said, guys, I just want to thank the channel sponsor one more time before we go, CoolFigurez Store. Check them out for all your Funko Pop, anime, and Pokemon card needs. And of course, use code CoolFigurez at checkout for 10% off your order. CoolFigurez Store. Check them out, guys. So with that being said, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. But whether or not you're a subscriber, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to me talk about toys. I really do appreciate it. As always, I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Magical, aka the Buff Collector, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.